Kutk, the great raven god of the Koryak, dropped a feather as he flew over the earth, creating Kamchatka. At first, the land was only populated by men. Then Kutk created a woman. She was very beautiful, and all the men fell in love with her and desired her. As the men died, they became mountains whose hearts still burnt with a fiery love, creating the volcanoes of Kamchatka. 9 time zones away from Moscow, the Kamchatka Peninsula is situated in the Russian Far East. While Kamchatka's east coast faces Alaska, Cape Lopatka in the south stretches towards the islands of Japan. Petropavlovsk is the only large city on the Kamchatka Peninsula, situated along the shores of Avacha Bay. It's not a pretty city. The gray 5-story Soviet-style buildings are bleak, but the incredible natural setting makes up for it. PK, as locals refer to their city, is home to about 2/3 of the peninsula's less than 400,000 inhabitants. During Soviet times, a strong fishing industry sustained the area. But little remains from that wealth, as many commercial fishing rights have been transferred to foreign interests. Today, locals do whatever they can to survive, and despite their hardships, are warm and welcoming hosts. The vast wilderness surrounding Petropavlovsk is a world in which the ancient rhythms of nature are still at work. The majority of this wilderness is still untouched. No foreigners or Russians were permitted on Kamchatka, a region of military sensitivity, until communism collapsed in the early 90s. The size of Switzerland, Austria, and Germany combined, Kamchatka is one of the most outstanding volcanic regions in the world, with a high density of active volcanoes. The United Nations designated several UNESCO World Heritage Sites within Kamchatka in 1996 in recognition of their beauty and biological diversity. The 1,500-kilometer coastline is one of the world's last strongholds for wild Pacific salmon. Over 1/4 of the world's remaining wild salmon inhabit Kamchatka's waterways. The peninsula is home to more than 1,100 plant species, 10% of which are endemic to Kamchatka. Some 200 bird species have been recognized, such as the Steller's sea eagle, which is one of the planet's largest eagles. More than half of the world's remaining Steller's eagles make their home on Kamchatka. But the brown bear is clearly the reigning giant of these ecosystems. About 10,000 brown bears roam this isolated and rugged area today.
During my first year on Kamchatka in 2003, I was standing in the middle of an open stretch of tundra about the size of 2 football fields. I was surrounded by 18 bears, all feeding on berries, within a few hundred meters of where I was standing. This scene helped me to realize the incredible productivity of this place.
The Kamchatkan landscape is incredibly rich in plant and animal life, and as a result, the region can boast one of the planet's densest bear populations. The rivers and lakes are thick with salmon every year, providing brown bears with an important source of protein. Not all bears are successful at fishing. Some learn faster than others. Bears feast on different species of berries, such as honeysuckle, crowberries, and ashberries, for much-needed sugars. In autumn, when the cold starts to set in, the bears must put on big layers of fat to survive their long winter sleep. Acres and acres of Siberian dwarf pine stands, heavy with nut-filled cones, feed their ravenous hunger. But despite Kamchatka's obvious beauty and rich biodiversity, it is struggling, like so many other places in the world, to meet the challenges of balancing the needs of a depressed local economy with the desire to preserve this magical landscape. The poaching of both bears and salmon is widespread and is a major threat to the conservation of the Kamchatka brown bear and the health of these ecosystems. These images were presented to us by the wife of a Kamchatka poacher in 2005. She gave them to us because she did not agree with her husband's illegal activities, but she also made clear that these same activities helped her family have a better life. In return, we agreed to erase the faces of the people shown on the images. These bear galls are likely worth several thousands of dollars on the Asiatic black market. Bear bile is used as a treatment for intestinal, liver, and cardiac illnesses and parasite and bacterial infections. Records indicate that bear bile has been used in traditional Chinese medicine since about 700 AD. Since the Russian government opened up Kamchatka for tourism in 1992, several organizations and individuals have started projects to help conserve bears and the peninsula's outstanding natural wealth. Charlie Russell has been working in Kamchatka for 10 years, researching the relationship between humans and bears and showing how the two can peacefully coexist. As part of his project, Russell has attempted to reduce poaching rates in southern Kamchatka by paying Russian park inspectors better wages. The hope was that this would provide a better incentive for the poorly paid inspectors to protect bears instead of cooperating with poachers. Poachers retaliated against this unheard-of imposition created by a foreigner in their country. In 2003, about 20 of Russell's study bears were slaughtered during his absence. In 1999, the New York-based Wildlife Conservation Society began work in Kamchatka with the goal to better manage and conserve brown bear populations into the future.
The Wildlife Conservation Society did a survey in 2002, and we estimated about 500 bears a year are being poached. Other estimates go as high as 1,500 bears a year. Direct poaching of brown bears is a big issue, but I think one of the issues that we haven't been able to get a handle on is the poaching of salmon.
Poaching and even legal bear hunting has had a huge negative impact on Kamchatka's bear population. Population numbers are much lower today than historic levels, and the hunting of the largest bears for trophies is possibly weakening the genetic makeup of Kamchatka's brown bears. Bear viewing tourism can provide the necessary economic incentive for local governments and outfitters to find more sustainable ways of managing bears.
A bear that is a source of ecotourism through bear watching activities can generate more money for longer periods of time for more people than killing it and selling its parts. If a tourism and ecotourism operation is in place, I believe a live bear is always worth more than a dead bear in purely economic terms.
Ecotourism, if its principles are properly applied, can be another effective way to help conserve Kamchatkan brown bears. Since Kamchatka became a tourism destination in the early 90s, visitor numbers have increased ever since. More tourists in Kamchatka's wilderness can mean better protection and less poaching. The simple presence of people can help to greatly reduce illegal activities such as poaching.
Wildlife Conservation Society is working with a few hunting outfitters, trying to make that transition from a hunting-based economy to a tourism-based economy. And it's reusable. Those bears can be viewed again and again and again by thousands of people over many years as opposed to shot once.
Bear viewing is growing in popularity worldwide, but is not very widespread yet in Kamchatka. Vicki Perkins is a Canadian bear viewing guide and has spent the past 4 summers on Kamchatka.
So the potential for Kamchatka and bear viewing is huge. Even here in North America, it's an emerging industry, but in Kamchatka it is also starting. There's many tourists coming. The brown bear is a symbol of Russia, it's a symbol of Kamchatka, and the opportunities to see bears doing what bears do best, eating and fishing and playing and just being bears in a really beautiful natural area is very high.
There are few roads on Kamchatka, and the best and often only means to access these remote areas is by helicopter. Because of that, trips to Kamchatka can be costly, but they are an experience most visitors will never forget. Rustic cabins and lodges are the only accommodations in the backcountry. Where no infrastructure is available, a safe and comfortable base camp can be set up. But no matter where and how you decide to spend your days in Kamchatka, your visit will surely become a lifelong memory. For now, Kamchatka's bear population remains healthy, and ecotourism projects continue to provide a new, more sustainable and respectful way of bringing economic security to the area. In a time where it is becoming increasingly difficult to find intact wilderness, it is crucial that we protect the remaining wild places on Earth for the bears and for our children.
На нашей 5-й швейной фабрике такое вряд ли кто пошьет. А у тебя, ей-богу, Вань, ну все друзья такая рвань и пьют всегда в такую рань, такую дрянь.
Мои друзья хоть не в Полонии, зато не тащут из семьи, а гадость пьют из экономии, хоть поутру да на свои. А у тебя подруги зим, все вяжут шапочки для зим, от их скучных образин дуреешь.